Broads Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Broads. The orange and the black. The orange and the black. Oh, the orange and the black. The orange and the black. That's right. That's right. We're getting away here. We're getting started on a training camp Friday. I don't know how the hell this show just started. Welcome on in. The Flyers are back, main camp. I was down at Voorhees today checking out the scrimmages, and it was just nice to see the Flyers fans back in the building, putting on their jerseys. Saw some Lindros Jays, some Brindamore Jays, some LeClaire Jays, some Jonesy. I didn't see any Jonesy Jays. Here's my initial thought, though. I'm pumped. I can't wait to watch this team compete. I'm ready to embrace the journey, and it's cliche as hell, but of the new era of Flyers hockey. And I want to kick things off with an overhead approach, and one, quite frankly, that I'm disappointed to see. So if you follow me on Twitter, at Broads81, you know that pretty much daily I do something called in or out. I make a statement, and then you are either in or out. It's not very difficult to understand, but what is difficult to understand is the results of the most recent one I posted. So why don't we cue the dramatic music? Now, what I should have done, if I was smart and intelligent and professional, is probably should have read the question and then had that for the results. So, because we're a family here, that was take one. We will do take two together. So, in or out? You are excited to watch the Flyers' journey this upcoming season. Are you ready to hear the results? Now that fade is phenomenal. Okay. We'll get to the numbers. Now that's suspense, though. Okay, how about that? The suspense. 52% of the people are excited, but that means 48 are not. 48% of the people voted. I think we got somewhere around 400, 500 votes or so. Just don't give a damn about what this team is going to be. There's a lot of intriguing storylines. Sean Couturier is back. Cam Atkinson's back. It's year 2 of John Tortorella, and we already see the difference because last year we had zero idea, he had zero idea on who anybody on this roster was. Any of the prospects, any of the young ones. Now, you even saw him make an adjustment in his training camp. Day 1 was hell, and it was always going to be brutal where you're getting bag skated to death. But they wanted to give them more of an opportunity to play out in a scrimmage vibe and see what they can do in a real game situation and just condition you in different ways. That's a learning curve to these young prospects, these young kids, these Forsters of the world, the Andres of the world, and even just Couturier coming back, and the veterans, Travis Konechny. It's growth as a core, and I get it. It's probably not the most appealing thing in the world to see what John Tortorella is doing on day 1 of main camp when the Phillies are pursuing an October run and the Eagles are 2-0. The common fan isn't watching camp and watching practices to see how they kind of approach the start of the season. I'm with you, but I think that there's so much joy in what we are about to experience because there is a plan. There is a path. There's a goal. There's an entire top of an organization that is just as hungry as John Tortorella is to figure out how to get the Flyers to be meaningful again. And, there are some concerns out there. Does John Tortorella have too much say? Does he put too much fear in everybody else where no one will stand their ground? I have faith that if Danny Briere wants something and there is pushback from Tortsy, that he's got that fire. That little guy that used to stand on the end of the goal line there and bury biscuits 5 feet from the blue paint, not afraid if a 6'5 defenseman will cross-check him in the teeth because he'll do anything to score that goal, to be on the power play, you name it. The way Danny Briere approached his job as a pro on the ice, I feel he's got that same competitive fire, and he won't be walked all over. And I think that's important because once that conversation does happen for the first time between him and Tortsy, while Tortsy will fire back, there's an acknowledgement of, okay, hi, Danny B. And trust me, Tortsy has the respect for Danny B. just looking at his career and what he's done. I'm fascinated to see these two personalities mesh, and while there might be some butting of the heads and there might be some conversation on what do you think about this guy, what do you think about that guy, where should we tend to lean towards with him, and what should we do with them? You know what? Bring it on, baby. I think you got two very sharp minds at the top of this, and I'm just excited for it. Is Tyson Forster making the team? Will Wade Allison stay healthy? Your back end, I thought was easy. Not saying good, saying easy. Easy to predict. Travis Sanheim, Rasmus Ristolainen as your top pairing, which is a nightmare if you're Carter Hart. Mark Stahl and Cam York with your 3 and 4, your second pair D. But then Tortsy says, well, I had conversations with Mark Stahl, and I let him know, dude, you might not play every night. You're here to be a veteran. You're here to be a leader. You're here to help some of the young ones grow and show them how to be a pro every day, how to carry yourself, how to show up to the rink, how to show up for practice, the way you go about your job. He's played a lot of games in this league. He's coming off of a Stanley Cup final run. His whole entire family's logged 1 billion minutes for a reason. They know how to do it. So you're here to do that, but you might not play every night. What? I didn't expect that at all. I thought he was almost written in there. Hell, Keith Yandel was playing 1 billion games too many when he was here, but because he was a vet, he got the free pass. Now, Torts isn't all about the free passes. You have to earn it, and if you don't earn it, you'll find yourself probably in a suit as a healthy scratch watching from above. Remember, he had Tony D, healthy scratched, played 5 defensemen, and put an extra forward up top just to say something to Tony without actually saying something to Tony. Torts is an interesting dude. He actually said this. I couldn't believe it. He actually said, he was asked about how did Sean Couturier look after day 1? Guy's coming back from major surgery, had to deal with the back. Oh, Sean Couturier, I didn't even watch him. What? Excuse me? You didn't even watch him? You're a liar. Of course you watched him. But that's how John carries himself. That's how John uses the media. He likes to manipulate the mind and play games. And, look, I want to see what Cootsy can do. I'm sure it is not easy to go through what he has dealt with, and he's eager to get back on the ice. And, to tie this back to watching the journey, and I know I'm bouncing all around. I just have so many thoughts on this team. And before I get to maybe my overhead view some more, let me tell you real quickly about my friends over at MyBookie. They are the presenting sponsor here of Sports Talk with Broads, and you could bet anything, anytime, anywhere on MyBookie. So get ready for some Phillies postseason. The NFL slate on Sunday. Go to MyBookie and check out all their phenomenal odds, because we've all seen a ton of different sports books these days, right? It's been around long enough. There is nothing better than the odds boost that they provide for you and all the daily stuff. It is amazing what MyBookie provides. So NFL, college football, a brand new cash out system that gives you options to bet and win. First two legs of your parlay hit, well, you can cash out early and place another bet or let it ride for a chance at a bigger payday. Join the MyBookie family for an entire season filled with daily odds boost, same-game parlays, and super contest. This season, MyBookie has a no-strings-attached cash bonus that lets you deposit and withdraw quickly. If you use promo code BROADS on a deposit of $50 or more, you can receive up to $200 in cash instantly to your MyBookie account. So bet your deposit amount once and you're ready to withdraw at any time. That's promo code BROADS to claim your cash deposit bonus. The information is down below in the description. Check it out. Hit the link. It is a no-brainer. I'm having a blast bringing home some money. The wife's getting some gifts because, well, why wouldn't I spoil my wife when all I'm doing is cashing out bets? I'm on a hot-ass run right now, and I'm going to keep it up. That's for sure. Okay, so getting back to the Flyers and Sean Couturier, what's he going to look like? I heard people scream at the mountaintops, we don't want to be good. So Couturier and Atkinson, if they actually do put the sweater on, and Couturier is a decent form of himself, isn't that bad? Let me explain this to you. This team, with Couturier, with Atkinson, with Konechny, with whoever it is, has a ceiling. With this decor, they have a ceiling, okay? Nick Sealer, Walker, I know they like ginning a little bit. I watched Bonk play. I can't wait to see him and Andre together as just separate identities. I'm saying down the road, I'm excited to see them together and run through the Flyers organization to one day be here on the big squad. I got high hopes for both of them. Bonk seems steady. Andre might have a higher ceiling and an overall more appealing skill set, if you will, but I think Bonk's floor is higher, if that makes sense. Yeah, give or take. I think that's where I fall. This team's going to be in the same exact range as it has been. Matvei Michkov, 7. Cutter Gauthier, 5. They won't fall off the face of the earth. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. We need the tank. We need Bedard. We need to be the Blackhawks. We need to be the Anaheim Ducks. Well, they're not going to be. And you know what? I'm okay with that. And I'm all right with living in that 5 to 7 range. First off, you can look through any draft and see guys that slipped. You can get a Pedersen. You can look for a Cale Makar. They're not all number 1 draft picks, number 1 overall picks. The Crosbys, the Ovechkins, absolutely, no doubt about it. Look, I would love to have one of those guys. But what you're ruling out is how important it is for a Morgan Frost, an Owen Tippett, a Travis Konechny, who might be traded eventually. I don't know. But the idea of showing up to compete and have a chance and look at this as a serious opportunity to win every single day you go do your job is so valuable to me as a pro athlete compared to, we're going to get the shit kicked out of us again today. Let's go lose 6-1. Some of these pieces we're discussing and following will be a part of them when they turn it around. That's why it matters. If they were all going to be thrown away in the trash, then it's a different convo. But Noah Cates, Owen Tippett, maybe Morgan Frost, maybe not Morgan Frost. I don't know. Less on the back end other than Cam York. I know Sanheim's contract says he'll be here for a long time, and there is the whole no movement trade thing and all that stuff. All I'm saying is there's a group. Tyson Forster. The guy can score. The kid can rip it. I'm so focused on them. And when I think of this team finally turning the page, they are in the equation. So for them to roll over and die for an NHL season early in their career where they're maybe selfishly looking at their points because they know the team has zero chance, Torch won't let that happen. And I'm all right with it. Even last year, they laid it out on the line. They weren't very good, but that's my point. They won't be good no matter if Sean Couturier or Cam Atkinson is healthy. They'll play and compete super hard and still lose majority of the games and be in a good spot to Matvei Michkov is a star. The dude goes from whatever the hell happened in Russia to a different team in the KHL, and in a couple games, he scores 2 goals in one of those games, one being a game-winning goal, and then he's also got got 5 points. The kid tears it up. He's a star. You got him at 7. Well, this happened, that happened. You got lucky. No one wanted to take a bite. I don't care how you get them. Get them. If you get someone who can take over your entire franchise because you got, quote, lucky, does that change the next 10 to 15 years of my viewing experience? Absolutely not. Cutter Gauthier is going to do the same thing. Maybe not the same star level, but the kid will be fantastic. You'll see Cutter Gauthier jerseys all around the Wells Fargo Center. So let's pump the brakes on. Well, if Gucci comes back, and Gucci coming back and doing well is a good thing, because you could either trade him or he helps the young ones learn how to be a pro. He signed until 2030. So the worst case scenario is if he sucks, because then what do? You're stuck with that. So I'm rooting for all this stuff. Yes, this is a rebuild, and Torchy could take shots at Chuck Fletcher all he wants, because he did. I don't care what the last regime said, what word I can't say, what word we didn't want to use, what we wanted to shy away from. Whatever, I don't care. He definitely took his jabs, and so be it. Him and Chuck Fletcher did not see eye to eye. I'm not the first one to ever say that on a podcast. All I know is they're trending in the right direction, and I'm proud to say that I'm ready for this journey. I'm ready for this team to go on the ice, and we can study and see how they improve as individuals and how they collectively come together as a team, led by a Scott Lawton, who is as polished as you can get in regards to being a great human. A good room right now. Last year, Kevin Hayes, Tony D, Ivan Provorov, Keith Yandel debacle did not deserve. Oh, Keith Yandel. Oh my God, that actually happened. The whole Keith Yandel thing actually happened. Holy hell. Okay, I guess my sound port doesn't want to work anymore. Oh, I faded it down. I'm an idiot. Holy hell. I forgot all about that Keith Yandel debacle, even though I didn't because I referenced it earlier, but it flashes me back to awful times in my life watching Flyers hockey. They seem to be holding themselves in high regards about a chip on our shoulder, and people are counting us out. I heard Travis Konechny say that today when he spoke to some of the media members there at Voorhees. Good. You never know what can happen. Good goaltending can change something. And even if they were to do something that nobody could ever see in a billion years happening right now, like flirt for a playoff spot, I'm not saying I think that's happening. I do not think that's happening. I don't think that there's enough talent. But if Carter Hart stands on his head and somehow makes up for all the flaws that are going to happen in the defensive zone, good luck. It won't happen, but good luck. That would be a good thing. That would be a good thing. Tyson Foerster competing for a playoff spot down the stretch matters to me. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just trying to give you perspective on where the franchise is, and winning isn't a bad thing. People just want to tank. Teams tank all the time and don't get what they deserve. The Anaheim Ducks, the Columbus Blue Jackets, they were miserable. And what happened? I don't see them with Connor Bedard. Now, Fantilli rocks a Hattie in his first game. Yeah, sure, some of the rookie stuff was underwhelming. Tyson Foerster got robbed in the first rookie game when they played the New York Rangers. He got stoned on a one-timer there. He opened up, let it rip. Great save to get to that post side. It was amazing. And after that, he didn't really play well. Bobby Brink didn't do too much. Some of the names that maybe you anticipated to step up when Fantilli and Bedard are ripping through Hatties, yeah, you would like to see more, but then Tyson Foerster in the first scrimmage scores within 7 seconds. 10 seconds in, they're dropping the puck again at the faceoff dot at center ice because, well, he netted one. Embrace it, enjoy it. Don't bitch, don't hate it. All right? Wisdom, I know that Wisdom popped. Brown on the power play throughout the rookie game, popped. Delorier had two 2 goals in a 2-0 win in one of the scrimmages today. First goal was actually really nice. And speaking of the practice, Tyson Forster, I don't know if he tried to hit Travis Konechny. It seems odd to run one of your best players in camp, but even TK mentioned afterwards that this guy's trying to make a roster spot. So it's all fair game out there. It's competitive, and it's good to feel the body a bit. There's no problem with that at all. I don't know if they accidentally ran into one another or if Tyson Forster had the eyes of I want to make a statement because it's his spot to lose. There are some others that could snag it, but it seems as long as he holds it down, he'll get that first crack at it. He did go into the board super hard and then skated off the bench and was having his shoulder drop. You know when someone pops their shoulder out and it dangles? Well, it was so scary. He skates to the bench, but then he sat on the bench for a long period of time, and I wondered, well, he probably would leave and go to the locker room if it was more significant. He returns to the bench, still plays in the scrimmage. Probably unnecessary to push it, but if you want to show Torts, I'm here. You want to show Danny Briere, I know that there's a spot here with my name on it, and the last thing I'm going to do is leave. He was doing the circles, and every single time that there was the play stopped, he would rotate it, and there's some preseason games coming up. I wouldn't do anything stupid if I was him, but at the same time, he wants to show that he belongs here and doesn't want to give up that spot, which we can all kind of acknowledge is fair. So here's some of the projected line stuff that's being thrown around and whatnot. Konechny, Couturier, Tippett, Scott Lawton, Noah Cates, Tyson Forster, Farabee, Frost, Atkinson. Hey, Joe Farabee's here for a bounce-back year. Now, Tortsy could say all he wants that, hey, I'm not using the injury as an excuse. The guy had major surgery. I would like for him to get back to where he was a couple years ago. What was that, 2020, where in 50-so games he put up 20? I need that. I need a pace of 25, 30. Now, Jack Eichel recovered from his injury, and he goes and wins a damn Stanley Cup. Now, Joel Farabee isn't surrounded by the same roster that the Vegas Golden Knights have, so there is a lot more here to factor in. But my point is that it is possible and it is capable of being done that you return from an injury like that and become your normal self again. I just don't know if in a snap of your fingers it can happen. And Joel Farabee never looked comfortable last season. Can Owen Tippett be a 30-goal guy? I think so. If you remember, early when he first got here, it was difficult for him to bury. He'd be around the blue paint, but he couldn't put it in. And he had a lot of grade A scoring chances, just couldn't find the twine. And then eventually he broke through and was awesome. But for him and Noah Cates is everywhere. He's in the right spots at all times, really, is what I'm trying to say here. Like, he does the little things. If you make a mistake, he can be a forward that can make up for it on the other end and help you back check and be in a good position in the D zone. Just does the little things right. And, of course, with your fourth line, Delorier, Hathaway, some veterans who know what their role is. So, I'm just here to get the excitement rolling. I told people to text in, call into the Anytime hotline when I left the rink, so I didn't give anybody a lot of time to reach out with any sort of thoughts, questions, concerns, feelings on this team. John texted in, though, and says, "What's up, Rhodes? My question is about Tyson Forster. How do you think he looked today?" I think he's a good player, man. I do. And how big of an impact do you think he could be this year for the Flyers, assuming he will be up in the with the big team, which I hope is the case? Thank you very much. Can he be a 20-goal scorer his first legitimate year? Is that a lot to ask of Tyson Forster? It is. It is. But I want to hold him to a high standard. So just so you know, last season, he played a total of 8 games. He had 7 points, 3 goals, and 4 assists. Now, I don't think he's going to keep up that pace, okay? 8 games, 7 points is super impressive. And in the AHL, to put it in perspective, he played 66 games and was a 20-goal scorer in those 66 games down in Lehigh. So can he make a jump and say in 80-something games? I don't know if he plays every single game. I would like to think so, but I'm just saying things happen. Injuries happen, decisions by Tortorella happen, all that kind of stuff. But if that's his AHL numbers, what can you project him to be at the NHL level? Probably more, if I'm being objective and I remove the excitement knowing he can score a bunch of goals. Now, you got to remember, a lot of these guys on other teams won't have the same opportunities as they will here. If you're rocking the power play for the Flyers, I doubt you're rocking the power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning with Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, right? All these nasty names. Victor Hedman. Good luck finding ice time. It doesn't happen. But Owen Tippett and some of these other young cats can do that here and have some more freedom, if you will. So, is 15? If he netted 15, anywhere from 15 to 16, 17 goals, if that's where he framed out after his first year, I think that's a good spot to build off of if I am being objective, which I like to be obnoxious and very into my feels and very into my excitement. But what do you know? All right, Ant text in. I cannot wait to hear Jim Jackson and Boosh on the call every single game. I am jacked up for this new era of hockey. I can't wait to watch the kids go to work. I hope you had a good time at the rink and full of goosebumps. I did have some goosebumps. Yeah, I was talking to JJ, man. He's pumped. JJ's excited. It looks like we got Fridge, Todd Fedoric for the radio side of things to replace Coatsy. So, Tim Saunders and Fridge. That'll be fun. Boosh and JJ on the call. Dude. Let's go Flyers! Let's go Flyers! Let's go Flyers! That's what it's going to sound like at the Wells Fargo Center, and it should, and appreciate it, right? Appreciate it. Don't get mad. They have to lose. No, they don't. No, they do not. Things will fall in line the way that they are supposed to fall in line. We are headed in a solid direction with good structure, good hockey people in mind, and the youth is a part of this. So if they succeed, it's good for the long run because a lot of the youth matters when we think about getting good again. I love you all so damn much. Appreciate you guys sticking around. You guys are the greatest people in the world. You know that? Just want to make sure you know that. Talk to you guys later. Peace.